Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome back to our series on the Havamal. Today we are looking at verse 115. So the first translation from Olive Ray reads, I counsel thee, stray singer, accept my counsels. They will be thy boon if thou obey'st them. They will work thy weal if thou winst them. Should thou long to fare over fell and firth, provide thee well with food. Now, the second translation from the website vikingarg.org. By fell or forth, if thou have to travel, provide thee well with food. And then finally from Bellows, if you must journey to mountains and firths, take food and fly with you. So the overall message is be prepared. Thank you for coming. I guess that's it. Well, of course, no. There's always more layers that we can pick apart with these verses. So let's get into it. Regarding preparation, a good start does make for a good finish, whether your task at hand is just an afternoon project or if you are going for a very lengthy journey. But in order to have that good start, preparation is key. But to have proper preparation, that means you have to have a clear objective. You know what you want to accomplish. And of course, that goal has to be important to you if you are really going to attain success, because otherwise you might have a half-hearted, slip-shotted attempt at preparation, but ultimately it doesn't do you very good. So it's important to have everything crystallized clear in your mind. So this idea of preparation, it comes long before you pack a suitcase or you think about how much food you might need to take with you on a hike. Climbing of mountains was mentioned, and of course, scaling a literal mountain is an obvious challenge. It's a test in people's strength and stamina, and you have to be concerned with the dangers of the terrain, the local fauna, sometimes the flora, even the weather itself. So when we think about that in the most literal sense, it gives us an idea of what kind of preparations would be needed. But of course, if we are climbing a mountain in the metaphorical sense, if we have some great obstacle we have to get on the other side of, or some lofty goal that it's going to take a lot to actually attain, we need to think about the dangers the difficulties, I suppose, would be a better word, that kind of go along with that. You are ascending. So whether you are ascending something physical or you are ascending something metaphorical, there's going to be parallels. So look for those parallels, and then that will also help you with your preparation. The same with sailing through the verse, being able to navigate through tricky waters. If this is a literal thing, you've got to watch out for, unforeseen, sudden difficulties, little rocks that weren't there, at least to your side a few moments ago, difficult passages, a variety of things that can and will go wrong. But the trick isn't about, having a completely smooth and uneventful journey. It's about being able to meet the challenges that the journey presents to you. So that requires having a preparation of mindset, saying, yes, I know there's going to be difficulties. I know that things won't always go exactly my way, but I've got to prepare myself to anticipate what I can and just decide that I will find a way through the things that don't occur to me to be prepared for. So it is preparing yourself in the sense of resiliency. Do you have a resiliency of spirit and a resiliency of mind? Very important. So I also want to draw upon this phrase that we found in the verse of if you must. If you must is not if you so choose to, or you were bored one day and so you decided to do this very difficult thing. No, it's if you must. It's this idea of necessity, and whether or not something is necessary to do, that should absolutely be considered if you are going to be undertaking a risk, especially if you are voluntarily undertaking a risk. Is this necessary for you to do? And of course, if it isn't, maybe you shouldn't be looking to create difficulties or go a harder road than necessary if you can actually settle something or accomplish something without additional trouble and without additional risk. Sometimes, we seek out the difficult thing because, we're needing to challenge ourselves, but it can be a wasted energy. We could be expending our energy on something that, actually could have been a lot more simple and straightforward wasting our energy on that. And then when something big comes our way and we do need all that strength, well, we don't have as much in reserve. So wisdom is always going to be necessary. Now, soul sustenance. I want to bring this up because when you are facing a challenge, it's important to ensure you're making provision for the needs of your spirit as well as for the needs of your body. So don't neglect the gods. Don't neglect your ancestors, the land spirits in time of trial. Just in general, do not neglect your spirituality. Your unseen allies can provide aid when it's most needed. And of course, if you are in a stronger spiritual state, you're going to be able to navigate and to negotiate with difficulties and unexpected turns of events a lot more effectively, because again, you won't be running on empty like we just talked, if you must. It's always important to build yourself up when things are going well, so that when you get into difficulties, you have some resources. And this includes your own spiritual, mental, emotional resources. Lots of good stuff in today's first. And this is just what I happen to think about it. Now the time has come to let me know what you think about this verse. I'd be very interested in your impressions. Tell me about it in the comments or email me at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com, and you can share your thoughts with me there if you would prefer. But I think that'll do it for now. Come back next week for the next verse, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye.